We want to talk about I Love My Community. That is an event which is coming up, and with me is the president of the Single Fathers Association, Mr. Rhondall Fields. Mr. Fields, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Rishi.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, man.
So tell me about I Love My Community 8.
Well, as you see, it's the 8th one. I Love My Community. This is something that we started 8 events ago. So small that I'm actually amazed to see how big it's grown. Last year, we had over 3,000 people at I Love My Community 7. It's all about fun on that day. It's Christmas. It's all about giving on that day. Every single form of entertainment, every gift is free of cost for the entire nation to come down to. It's being held at the Stalagmite Grounds, Southern Main Road, Kunupe. Starts at 12:30 p.m. You have bouncy castles, you have zip lines, you have go-karts, you have the chair plane, the mechanical bull. I mean, we go all out to give on that day.
But what is the purpose of having an initiative like this?
I mean, definitely to engender love. I mean, this is something that we thought about something we could do 8 years ago from the organization, Single Fathers Association and TADA at that point in time. And we thought about going on a truck and giving a gift. That is something that would, the toy might be destroyed midway the next year. But doing this 8 years has created a long-lasting memory in the minds of these children. Some of them that were 3 then are now 11. Some that were 12 are now 20. So it's something that the entire community has grown to love. It's engendered that camaraderie among the races. It's engendered that love amongst the children. I mean, and then they work together, play together, go to school together. This is exactly what we engender in the community. True love and good emotional intelligence. Anything positive. That's exactly what we wanted to engender from this, and we have seen engendered from this project.
And when I look at the logo, I see the TTPS, their logo there as well.
The TTPS has partnered with us for the last 3 years. They're going to be there as well. They bring the mounted branch. We also have the petting zoo this year as well. We also, the TTPS has also arranged with Nihus as well to be there. So the TTPS has been a great part of it. I mean, and the community police, so to speak, the children, they admire them. They interact with them. They help us a lot when it comes to the sharing of the gifts. So the TTPS has been a very, very, very important element since they've been added on.
Yeah. And it's taking place on Sunday, 23rd December.
It's taking place this Sunday, Sunday 23rd, at the Stalagmite Grounds. It starts at 12:30. We always start with a cartoon character themed parade, led out by the USC marching band. And then we head down from St. Anthony's Park to the Stalagmite Grounds, where we commence the day's events. We must always thank the sponsors like Tropical Power, We Pay, Darren Car Sales, Hammond Motor Dealers, Kobe Motor. A lot of sponsors have come on because they realize how important, and they realize how the community has responded, and the nation, by extension, has responded to this event.
But, you know, some might say, why have this event? Why not do something else that might last a bit longer?
Right.
So, you know, you pick out the families that may need assistance, right, and, you know, you give them something, right, probably meals.
And that is something that Single Fathers Association in collaboration, particularly in the Central Division, that we've done throughout the entire year. So this is more like celebration of all the things we've continued to do. We formed things like the Central Educational Multi-Sector Committee. We've been part of groups like the RAP group. The NCPP is now in the Central Community. So, I mean, that's something that we do continuously. But at this event has a very, very close place, I mean, particularly to my heart as well, because I've seen the children grow with the event. And it's something that we plan to continue, I mean, as long as life survives.
And it is important as well for these children to keep occupied in positive things. Because we see far too often that young people get mixed up with the wrong crowd.
Exactly. And that's it, always creating a positive alternative. I grew up in Kunupe, and there was never anything like this happening there. And I'm a big man now. So now the children who are from the other generation, the generation after me, could never say that. There's been something positive every Christmas for them to look forward to.
And I'm glad you're here as this president of the Single Fathers Association, because one thing that we heard recently is the number of reports made when it comes to sexual abuse against children.
Right.
And as the president of the Single Fathers Association, I know we're talking about this, but I want to get your thoughts on that and things that parents can do to protect their children around this Christmas time.
Yeah, I mean, I condemn that. I condemn that in a big way. And I mean, it's about raising awareness, it's about speaking to your children, it's about educating yourself first as a parent, so you know how to educate your child to protect themselves. It's about looking at some of these social norms or the social perceptions we have that possibly only young girls are sexually arrested. A lot of boys are seen being sexually abused as well. sometimes you teach your children to protect themselves. Let them be able to speak to you. Let them know don't be shameful to say someone has touched you in a bad place. Let people know good touch, bad touch. Some of these things. Let your children learn from everything they see. Particularly at that age, they are the most intelligent, I believe. So I think having conversations with your children would set you on the right path.
Yeah. And the conversation, or the type of conversation, is important. Parents need to be able to educate themselves first before they can educate their children.
Correctly. Just as I implied before, you must educate yourself first on some of the social ills and some of the remedies before you could even impart it onto your siblings and your children.
Yeah. And with the increase that we've seen over the past year, as statistics would show, how can we as a society get out of that?
Right. I mean, that's a broad question, but long and short of the story, it's good for us to educate ourselves as well, and not think it's an isolated issue or it happens to one type of person or one socioeconomic standard or one race of people. It happens to anyone, and it's important for us as human beings, whether you're a parent or not, to be aware and cognizant of these things taking place. And I mean, play a part, play a role, try to assist in some form. You may have some resource, you may have some skill that you may be able to render, to other people in the community and society.
And hopefully events like I Love My Community would be able to bring people closer together and create an environment where people can speak with each other and actually have those intellectual conversations as well. Yeah,
and we also, as I said, the other things that we promote as well. It's not just fun and games. The TTPS, they'll be there as well. The Victim and Witness Support, they're there as well. So the Single Fathers Association, there's a booth there as well. The U.S. Embassy would be attending this one as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of learning that takes place there as well. Because when you go to the booths, you're going to get a lot of information. So we try to be educational as much as entertaining. So,
and it seems to be exciting. I see bouncy castles, chair planes, go-karts, bungee jumping. All of those exciting things there. So
and we always ended, I can't forget, with a magnificent fire-powered fireworks display by Firepower Fireworks.
Well, you know how fireworks that has come under scrutiny in recent time.
Not these good fireworks that we get.
Or good and bad fireworks. Mr. Fields, just give me one more time the information.
Right, it's going to be at Stalagnite Ground, the 23rd of December, which is this Sunday. It starts at 12:30. We meet at the ground, then we go to St. Anthony's Park, where we then proceed back to the ground with the march that we have, and then the day's events start from there. So we're looking out for everyone. Bring your kids out. It's all free of charge. There's no cost whatsoever. All the gifts are free. All the rides are free. It's something that we give to the community, and I'm in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us about this initiative. It's Sunday, 23rd December, 12:30 p.m. till, and it is called I Love My Community 8.